What's up, guys? I'm Joe.
And I'm Rich.
And we're the owners of Prestige Property Group. And today, we're giving a training on how to properly demolish and renovate a house.
If you're interested in a broker that's doing real training, right, we're still hiring, so hit us up.
Cheers. Knock down an entire house for $25,000. Knock it down with a bulldozer.
And take it away.
And take it away. $25,000, right?
Okay. This
is called a hand demo because I want to save the structure. It's brick and cinder block. They don't make homes like this anymore, so you have to hand demo. It was a little bit more expensive and more time consuming because of how they built homes in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So homes built in the 50s till now are awesome. Anything pre-1940 is just, in my opinion, too old. Unless it's like gut renovated like this. So a hand demo on this house was huge. It was a little bit bigger than normal. Each floor, including the basement, the first floor, second floor, is 1,650 square feet each floor. So just so you guys know, like you guys are realtors, a single family house is like 1,500 to 1,800 square feet nowadays, an average single family house. So this home, in my opinion, is like 3 single family homes, square footage wise. So I decided to gut the entire inside even though it didn't need it. Bash was here. Bash, did I need to gut this house? Not at all, right? I could have just did the bathrooms and kitchens. Because it was all, plaster, it was all smooth. It just needed to be cleaned up. However, I'm glad I gutted it because I got to see the issues. The previous owner kept putting laminate floors and lipstick on top of lipstick on top of lipstick. So I gutted it and did it the right way. I almost had to learn that the hard way. But 2 things, gas and water. So water, you call the town and you tell them, hey, can you shut off the water from the street? And they usually mark it out here. This is the water line. And they shut it off from the street. That's important because they could just rip out the hot water heaters, the hose spigots, all that stuff. Gas, you have to call PSE&G. If you're in like Sparta and it's propane, you call Suez or wherever. But for this part of North Jersey, you call PSE&G and you tell them, hey, I need to shut off the gas. They usually don't show up, and then you gotta call again, and I called 3 times to shut off the gas here. It finally came and they shut off the gas, and they also marked it out. So it's somewhere over there. So now the gas, there's no gas to the house, there's no water to the house, there's no electricity. Now they can start demoing without anybody getting hurt, right? How long do you think it took to demo this house?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 full weeks of labor. They just finished it last night.
How many dumpsters?
It was 11 dumpsters, 30-yard dumpsters. 30-yard dumpsters too, big boys.
Well, they come in every day?
No, in the back that's a 20. Yeah, they were alternating. So that's another thing, staying on top of the dumpster rotation because you got to constantly communicate with the demo guys. Like, hey, is the dumpster full? And also, are they properly filling up the dumpster? Because a lot of demo guys, they'll just throw it in there, but you can actually organize the debris in the dumpster so that it fits a lot, and you're not overspending on dumpsters. Direct vent. You guys know what that is? No. Back in the day, well, they still do it, they exhaust all the gases through the chimney. I don't like that. People don't do that anymore because the chimney liner, you got to constantly maintain it. And nowadays you go direct vent directly to the roof. So there's no need for that. It's newer. That's just an old school way. But the brick is nice, so we'll keep the brick. This was a staircase. This is the door to the outside, obviously. The stairs went down, and then down here. You see the footprint of the stairs. And that went all the way up. See the top? All the way up to the second floor. I realized that the stairs in the middle of each floor is such a waste of space. So I said with my architect, why don't we get rid of the stairs, and now we have an extra, this is, I don't know, 150 square feet each floor. That's a bathroom. It's a master bathroom, or a bedroom. And it also opens up this whole space. So now we have an open concept here. We have another bedroom on the first floor, and now I'm gonna make that the master, I'm gonna take the 3rd floor for myself. I'm gonna make that the master bathroom. So think about that. That's awesome square footage that you gain just by redesigning a house. That's why I got the house, because I wanted the opportunity to see something like this. I'm losing a side entrance, but, so the utilities are over here, right? Let me just say, like, by gutting a house, you kind of have a clean slate. it's kind of like a new construction. And a house this solid, it's awesome because look how many windows I have in this basement. There's a lot of natural light. I'm actually going to go down to these windows. This is brick here. So I'm going to take apart this brick, and these windows are going to be the original size. That's the original size. So I'm going to have a decent sized window.
So they bricked them up a little bit.
They bricked them up a little bit just to make it fit, you know?
But now, if you take that out, is that an egress window?
It's not an egress window. Does anybody know why?
Because it's underground.
No?
Supposed to be bigger.
What makes an egress window an egress window?
You can fit through it or get
You have to be able to fit through it and crawl out.
Right.
So it has to be stairs, like steps. So these won't be egress windows. That's why this is a 2-family house legally, and he had 2 apartments down here. And I gutted it because I didn't want to do any illegal apartments, and I applied to make it a legal 3-family. And they said no because I can't put egress windows. Even though I have 2 exits, this is a 2-family zone, not a 3-family zone. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll just keep this for myself, you know? This is the bathroom, right here. And in front of the bathroom is a door that leads to a laundry room. Full-blown side-by-side laundry. Now, when you gut a house like this, you get to do a lot of nice stuff because this is the waistline. See how it was right smack in the middle of the entire house? How stupid is that? This is when you flush the toilet, the fist, it all goes down here. And this was the plumbing for a bathroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip up all this concrete. It's going to go all the way to the front. And now the waistline is going to be directly in front of the house. And there's going to be a clean out outside. So in case it ever gets clogged, guess what? Go clean out my house. I don't even need to be home. It's right there. So now we have brand new plumbing for this bathroom down here. Look how dusty this plumbing is. It's all fucked up. Look at this. This is cast iron.
You need to change the PVC.
PVC. But I'm also, another bonus and a good reason to gut a house is because the pressure, the size of the water line, I'm doing a 1-inch line. So when I turn on the water upstairs, it's high pressure. You know, it's just more water coming to the house, more flow. So brand new water line, brand new waistline. By the time I'm done with this house, I won't have to touch it for 30 years. That's the goal, right?
Isn't it actually more efficient too?
Super efficient.
Like you waste less water.
You waste less water and you also have less headache. Look at the inside of this cast iron line. Look how rusted it is. It's poop.
So now, what will the new?
Does anybody know why forced air is not as good as baseboard heat? It's dry, right? It's bad for you. There's a system you can put in a forced air where it humidifies the air and it purifies the air too. It's very expensive. $4,500. I looked into it. I'm not gonna do it. All right. Does anybody? So that's the basement. What do you think? This is gonna look nice, right? See this entrance? This is what I was talking about in the basement. So this is gonna be stairs going down to the basement. You guys see that?
So you're closing that off completely over there?
I'll send you guys the plan so you could see what I did here. But I have to say, like, hiring an architect, the architect for this house was $6,000 just for the architectural plans. $6,000, but it made a game-changing difference in the layout and the process of this house. He thought of things that sometimes I don't even think of. Like, for example, these are only 3 feet wide, these stairs. And he said, listen, if you have a 3-bedroom apartment, it's probably a family, and they're going to have a lot of furniture, so you might want to go 4 feet wide. So these stairs are going to be starting here. So these stairs are going to be right here, and then there's going to be another 4 feet staircase going to the basement here. So this wall is getting moved to here so that I can have wider stairs going upstairs and downstairs. Once you have your plans, you can take the plans. This is really important. You apply for all your permits. Anthony is the plumber. He just dropped off a permit application for plumbing for the whole house. They look at the plans. They give you a price. They count how many fixtures. And you have your plumber. You have your HVAC. You have your electrician. You have your general contractor, which is me on this project because it's my house. You're allowed to GC your own house. And once you have all those stamped applications and permits, you go to the town with a check and 3 sealed architectural plans. The architect gives it to you in a seal. I'm going to get those Monday. So by Monday, I'll have everything I need to apply for all the permits of this house. So the good thing about architectural plans, when you have a house gutted, especially now because of COVID and there's a lot of material shortage, you can take your plans and say, hey, framer, create a material list off of these architectural plans. Hey, sheetrock guy, get me all the sheetrock I need for this house based off the architectural plans. Hey, tile, go there, pick out your tile, order it, and have it delivered. So keep that in mind. You have your architectural plans, you have your permit, your applications, everything. You drop it off at the town, they approve the plans, then you can start framing. Once you start framing, then you get your HVAC guy in there. The HVAC guy does something called a ductwork plan. You guys know what that is? He tells the town exactly where all the how the ducts are running and where to each room. Then you can get the electrician and plumber in there. A lot of these times, these guys don't like to work amongst each other. I have a company called Clean Clutter. It's a really good company. You guys could use them. They're on Instagram. When the HVAC guy is done, they usually leave a mess. Clean Clutter comes in, does a clean sweep, a broom sweep of each place, so that when the electrician comes in here, it's nice and clear for him. He's not going to make any mistakes. When he's done, same thing, clean it up, get the plumber in here. Then, once you're done with all your rough, does everybody understand what that means, the rough? You're not allowed to do insulation, you're not allowed to do sheetrock until you pass all your rough inspections. Rough electrical, rough plumbing, rough HVAC. So once you do all that, it's really important to pass all that. Once you pass all that, then you could do insulation. And once you put the insulation in, you still have to have an insulation inspection. You have to, because you can't close up the walls. They need to see what's behind the walls and make sure everything's done right before you close up the walls. And you as a homeowner don't want to close up the walls and have issues and make them open up the walls again.
So after each of those, like, as soon as you're done with the electrical, you have an inspection?
No.
No.
You have the guys do the work.
Oh, everything.
HVAC, after framing, then all the utilities. HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Once the work is done, then you have something called a rough inspection.
Okay.
The rough inspection is going to include the inspection for the framing. It's going to include the inspection for the HVAC, the electrical, and then the the plumbing.
Okay.
Then you can insulate. You're going to insulate all the pipes. You're going to insulate all the walls. This house is going to have a 2x4, so it's going to be 2x4 framing all the way through. Then they do that. Once you pass all your inspections, your rough inspections, then you can sheetrock. Actually, then you can kind of close up the house and start putting your fixtures in. Because after that, you just have one more inspection. It's called the final. And the final inspection, then you get your CO, certificate of occupancy.
So there's only the rough, the final, and the CO.
The hardest part is the rough inspections. Once you pass your rough framing, rough electrical, rough plumbing, rough HVAC, you're smooth sailing. Then that's where the fun part comes in. Then you're going in there and you're doing the vanities and the cabinets and the countertops and the tiles. That's fun. This part is not fun. This is the hardest part. Designing it with an architect, gutting the house, dealing with the dumpsters, dealing with the permits, dealing with the town. This is the hardest part.
What would be an issue for your plans to not be approved?
Many things. I mean,
Is that you like a
I'm
usual?
going to publish this video later, but I'm adding a bathroom in each floor.
Okay.
This was one bathroom. I'm making it 2 bathrooms each floor, adding a ton of value to my property.
But the town may.
The town may say, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't. If you guys look at the roof on this house, when they build a new house, right, they do the beams and then there's plywood. This house is tongue and groove panels. The roof is tongue and groove. So after all these years, 70 years later, the wood in the roof is fine. I actually just need to change the shingles. 70 years later. That's crazy. So when you gut a house, another thing that you guys can do that's pretty cool is do unique design characteristics like vaulting these ceilings. Does everybody know what vaulting a ceiling is? Bringing it up all the way up to the beams. So aesthetically it looks really pretty. So if you look at this house down the middle, right? You see it? This is the support. That's all supporting. And see those little wood pieces? There's like 5 of them. Those are called ties. They tie the roof in together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those ties down and expose them. Make them really big ties and expose them. So this was the kitchen. This is now the kitchen, and this is the living room. This is all going to be an open concept kitchen living room with an island in the middle. And the ceiling of the kitchen and living room is going to go to the top.
So you're gonna be removing these.
I'm going to be removing all this ceiling right here. A couple other cool things I'm doing. So this is a tongue and groove. There was hardwood floor in this house, guys. There was gorgeous hardwood floor here already. I didn't have to rip it up. But I knew that I was reframing some of these rooms. Like these closets are actually going to get reversed. The door to my closet is going to be here. I'm going to have a separate closet, and that's going to belong to that room. So when you have that reframing of the floor, and you have hardwood floor that butts up to this, but then you have more hardwood floor, it's going to look too choppy. So I had to rip up the hardwood floor. But doing so enabled me to realize I could do a 1/2-inch plywood right on top of this. So you have this beautiful floor that's already here, 1/2-inch plywood on top of this, and then hardwood floors on top. So I could literally be standing on this floor, stomping on the ground, and it's fucking solid. Sound like nothing. No creaking, nothing.
You're gonna spray foam downstairs, all right?
I'm gonna spray foam the rafters from these rafters and downstairs. I'm actually doing a 4-inch spray foam around the whole house. It's gonna be totally soundproof. There's gonna be rock salt in the rafters too, and a black. There's a special soundproofing tape that goes under the hardwood floor. So like totally soundproof this house. When you buy real estate, there's strong properties you keep forever. There's flips. There's properties you hold for 5 years and sell. There's never a property that every property is different. And I saw this, and this is like for me a forever property. You guys want to know pricing? We'll play a little game on pricing. So HVAC, right? 3 central air and forced air units.
12 grand.
12 grand for 3 separate units. 16, 15, 1,650 square feet of living space each unit.
25,000, 30,000.
Just so you guys know, that's a 4-ton unit. I chose to do York, a York system. You guys know the different brands. Goodman is trash. York is really good. I did York because I like it's a quality brand. York so 3 central air and forced air systems. That's just the HVAC guy. I'm doing. It cost me $35,000. $35,000. Again, just divided by 3 if you guys are doing a regular house flip. Also, you probably wouldn't do a York system, you do a Goodman system. A Goodman unit for a 1,500 square foot house, $8 grand for the whole thing. If not cheaper, but you probably get it cheaper. Maybe not because of COVID. But I chose York because I'm going to live in this house and I want it to last a really long time. Electrical, does anybody know anything about the electrical in this house? The service right now was 200 amps. I actually bumped it up to 400 amps. So it's going to be a 400 amp electrical service, which some people consider commercial, but you know, this is a big house. 150, and then the house meter, the basement, will be 100 amps. I'm sorry, yeah, 100 amps. So a total of 400 amps. I want to talk about the survey. I ordered a survey when I bought this house. Does anybody know when you get a survey when you're buying a house? Who does the survey? The title company. So when you're ordering title on a house, you make sure the title company orders a survey with markouts. So I got a survey on this house, and I'm glad I did, because right now there's no central air in this house, and every central air unit is going to have a condenser. And the town threw me a curveball and said, hey, there's a side yard and a front yard and a small backyard. We want the condensers to be, we need to know where this, we need the survey. So if I would have had to wait for a fucking survey, I wouldn't even been able to submit my plans. But because I'm a crackhead, I ordered a survey and I had 3 copies of a sealed survey already. They were able to tell me immediately that they want the condensers in the back of the house right here. So I have 3 big York fuckers back here, which I don't want, but it's what the town wants. This for me is a long-term hold, which is why I'm going balls to the wall. Bash saw it. I could have just did the bathrooms and kitchens, rented each unit for $2,500, called it a day. That's what most people would have done.
You're not most people.
I'm not most people, unfortunately. All right, guys, that's it. That was the training. If you guys are realtors and you want more